All right, we are all about facts, again, not fear, and providing some good information to keep you and your loved ones safe. So Dr. Payal Kohli, the heart of my hearts, the stars to my moon. That made no sense. Okay, sorry. Okay. Joins us live to answer your questions about the coronavirus. Doctor, we have been talking a lot about the latest headlines, but today I'm saying, nah, we're going back to basics. This is for the new viewers tuning into DBL for the very first time. We believe everyone should know this simple but potentially life-saving information. So let's start with something we all know about: social distancing. Doctor, can you explain why we need to be 6 feet apart as opposed to 10 feet or 3 feet?
Yeah, so great question to ask, especially today, because we're hearing that social distancing from our government may come to an end soon, which is absolutely not correct. So the virus is not spread by any other means besides respiratory droplets. So the virus doesn't spread itself. People spread the virus. People coming together spread the virus. And respiratory droplets tend to travel about 6 feet or so. So that's why it's really important for us to maintain that distance. And 6 feet is the minimum distance that we should maintain. But really, you want to be as far away from each other as possible. And the idea is that if we did nothing, within about a week or two, our country's healthcare system would be completely overwhelmed by the number of people that catch this virus because of the way that it spreads.
Thank you.
So
That's
if you
good
separate the people, you stop the spread.
Thank you.
All right. Now, Doc, we've been told wash your hands and use hand sanitizer. I can talk like that on a boat.
Okay. You have a turtleneck on in case I can't. It's Ron Burgundy over here.
You know, we've been told to wash our hands and use sanitizer, but like when, how often, like when should we be doing this? Like how much is too much and how much is not enough?
And which one is better? I want to know.
So there's never too much hand washing, but there's specific circumstances such as before you prepare food or before you touch your face, it's critical to wash your hands. You also want to wash your hands after you go to the bathroom or after you handle any kind of packages, groceries, or anything that may be contaminated by the virus. So what I usually do to myself is whenever I'm doing something, I stop and ask myself, do I need to wash my hands? Whenever I'm about to touch my face or eat something, I say, do I need to wash my hands? So those are the two critical times I really ask myself. And then the sanitizer should only be used when you don't have access to washing your hands, because it's just not as good as the soap and water.
All right, well, we know to stay home, but what are some reasons we should leave the house, right? So can I take Josie Rose and Barnaby on dog walks? Can people foster if they're home and take their dogs for walks, which might be helpful for the dogs and the cats?
Yeah, at this point, Tori, only the essential reasons to leave the house. So I would say taking your dogs out for a walk, getting a little bit of exercise, those are considered essential reasons. Other reasons would be going to the supermarket or going to the pharmacy. Okay. But besides that, for recreation, for interacting with your neighbors, it is not the time to leave your house. Stay home, stay socially distanced, and that's going to save lives.
Thank you.
Dr. Kohli, first of all, I'd like to say thank you for not hanging up after Tori suggested that you take your cat for a walk. But now we do have some viewer questions here. Viewer Chris says, he wrote us and said, I work from home and I pretty much self-quarantine anyway. My friend who also lives alone has been off as a tattoo artist for 3 weeks already. Is it cool for us to get together?
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good question.
No, no, and no, because you two getting together, even though you've been quarantining at home, increases the risk to both of you and to your community. So the fact that you've been at home is great, and I really applaud you for that. And I want everybody to keep up with the social distancing, because I know it's starting to get to some of us. But remember, what we do today doesn't show up for about 1 or 2 weeks. So what we're seeing with the rise in cases is actually from our behavior 2 weeks ago, before we had started adopting this aggressive social distancing. So really stay home today in order to flatten that curve tomorrow.
Right, that's good. Jonna New asks, will the coronavirus ever go away? People don't wash their hands. That's a good point.
Yeah, so we're hopeful that we can at least mitigate it. It may not forever go away, but look at China, look at South Korea, you know, really keep that hope up, because we're really on the steep part of our curve right now. But within a few weeks, those countries were able to turn around their cases, and I'm hopeful that we'll do the same. So I really think our life will come back to normal in a few weeks, but we just all have to pitch in today in order for that to happen.
That makes sense.
All right, let's get this really quickly. Addison wants to know about donations. She says, as a hairstylist, would my gloves be something I should donate, or is there a certain medical grade glove?
No, gloves are actually, most types can be used. There's certainly latex gloves that are preferred, or non-latex medical grade gloves that are preferred, but all types of gloves in a pinch could be helpful. So please donate, and thank you for doing so.
That's amazing. Finally, doctor, before we go, there's new data out there about how coronavirus impacts our heart. My mom has a port right to her heart. Can you speak to that really quickly?
Yeah, and I'm a cardiologist, so it's close to my heart, but there are receptors for the virus on the heart. So some people will actually present with heart attacks, heart damage, or chest pain and palpitations as the only manifestation of the disease. So just keep that in the back of your mind.
Wow, that's so important. Your information every day is saving lives. I want you to know that. Thank you for being here. You're our warrior. If you do want more information about the coronavirus, go to cdc.gov or the World Health Organization's website. And remember, what do we say? No panic. I do this weird shrug when I say that. No panic. Just prevention and precautions. And again, Dr. Kohli, all the health workers, the truck drivers, the sanitation people out there, we thank you.
Tori, you just hit me. I'll never be able to start a sentence with, I'm a cardiologist.
I know.
Especially at the pace I'm going. It's not looking good, Doc.
No, but your turtleneck makes you pretend you are. We'll be right back.